everyone has a dream to have a beautiful home, a place where they could be comfortable with their husband, their wife, their children, their family members, to have an environment that's conducive to growth and connection, communication, etc., etc. And I see this all the time, that when it comes to finding the right place, many times a couple would make decisions based on, if we move here, we could get a house for much cheaper but much larger. Or if we move there, we could be around our friends. Or if we move here and there, we have this and this advantage. And Baruch Hashem, everyone has their cheshbonot, their calculations as to what the best neighborhood for them to live in. If you look at Parashat Lech Lecha, we see in chapter 12, Pasuk Chet, verse 8, the Torah goes into details and explaining where Avraham Avinu settled, where Avraham and Sarah made their new home, and describes between this area and that area, and they built their tent here and they moved it there, and it goes to a whole description. And the Chafetz Chaim asks, why do we need all these details? Just say he lived here and move on with the Torah's description of the next story. Why go into all the details of where Avraham Avinu lived? And listen what the Chafetz Chaim says. He says that the reason why the Torah explains in length Avraham's home, where he decided to live, is because it was showing us that when you make a decision in your home, you got to look at all the variables. Where are you located next to? Is it a good influence, bad influence? Could you raise your children in the proper environment? Could you yourself be influenced to the positive or to the negative? Avraham Avinu wanted to make sure he wasn't adversely affected by living there, but at the same time that he could hopefully bring others closer to Hashem. Anytime you make a move, it can't just be a financial decision. Is this community going to help me and my family go to the next level? Is there a proper shul, proper yeshivot? Is there a mikveh? How about kosher stores and restaurants, etc., etc.? Is this the environment that's conducive for a Jewish way of life? Or is it an environment where, Baruch Hashem, I save X amount of money, I got a bigger house? You got to get your priorities straight. It's better to live in a neighborhood where you spend a little bit extra and maybe have a smaller house, but you have a good surrounding. Then move out to a place where you have no Torah and mitzvot, but you save a little money. Because keep in mind, Rabotai, we have a mission in this world. Our mission is to, Be'ezrat Hashem, get closer to Hashem, is to study the Torah, to preserve the mitzvot, our traditions, to pass it down to the next generation. And that should be the main deciding factor as to where we live. Let's take this message to heart, and Be'ezrat Hashem, we should be zocheh to make all the right decisions in life. And ultimately, we should be zocheh to all make aliyah to Eretz Yisrael. And we should see the coming of Mashiach Tidkenu b'simcha v'tuv levav, b'nachal v'lo b'tzar. Should be b'mera b'yamenu, amen ve'amen. Shabbat shalom mevorach.